What is the collection? A miserable pile of games? Yes, it's that time again for 31 days, and it's 31 days of Castlevania Reorchestrated. Figure they use music so often in their game titles, why not use it for mine? So, here we go. We're going to go over the collection, some new additions, some other games I've played. No whips this time. Just pure vampires. So, of course, there's the original Akumajo Dracula. We discussed this before. I think Chronicles made the last video. Good game there as well. What have we got? Rondo of Blood. Again, now you can play this in the Castlevania Requiem collection, which is on PS4, Xbox One, Switch. So everyone can enjoy, get trophies or achievements if you like those. And Akumajo Densetsu, or Dracula, and Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. And yeah, so those are some of my favorites. What I have played since then are getting the Platinum on Castlevania Lords of Shadow. In fact, I even put that up in a video. And yeah, we'll discuss these games a little bit more in detail after that. And I believe it was last year I finally got to play Symphony of the Night, one of the best Castlevania games ever. Possibly one of the best games ever. Not the best, although some people will argue whether it is or isn't. That's not for me to help you to decide. You need to play it for yourself. But yeah, like I said, if you get Requiem, two great games for one price, and now I sound like a Konami advertisement. And finally, I also got to play Super Castlevania 4. That was last year in 31 Days of Horror. And yeah, it's a really great game, good controls. I mean, it's Castlevania. You can't normally go wrong. But I still prefer the NES ones, if we're being honest, because it's classic Vania. The sprite, he's 3 blocks tall, which is just weird because he's always 2 blocks tall. Simon is 2 blocks tall. Simon is 3 blocks tall. I don't get it. Trevor is 2 blocks tall. And, you know, so I do prefer the NES versions above all. What have I been doing since, in the last 3 years since the previous Castlevania video? I picked up Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and hopefully we'll be playing that in a couple of days. Same for Vampire Killer, also known as Bloodlines. So, fire that up on the good old Mega Drive. Hopefully the sound works this time, but this should be a good game. And I think I'll play as Eric Licard, get some spear action. Although, it's interesting, I played at least 3 Castlevania games so far this month, and I have beaten Dracula 0 times, despite finishing one that I'll get to in a minute. I also got Symphony of the Night, or Nocturne in the Moonlight in Japan. Again, with the music theme, right? But for the Saturn, so I'll be able to play as Maria, as you can see in the back. That should be some good stuff. And then we have Castlevania 64, and recent pickups, Legacy of Darkness, or Legend of Cornell. If you watch the Nerds video, he'll say this one is not very good. I don't know, I haven't played it yet. But I think that if the 64DD had gained steam, this might have actually just been an add-on to this game. Because I've read that they use many of the same properties. They just made it the game that they should have released in the first place. But, or better yet, like Sonic and Knuckles, be able to stack the cartridges. How cool would that have been? But anyway, we'll give those a try at some point. I also got the Castlevania Double Pack, featuring Harmony of Dissonance and Area of Sorrow. And again, Harmony, Area, you know, if you're a Castlevania fan, you know all of this stuff. But 2 great games on 1 pack. Area of Sorrow was the first game I beat this month, and playing as Selma Cruz was very interesting. Great story, great action, great locations. You really need to play Area if you haven't yet. What else? There's Castlevania, Order of Ecclesia. And again, some of the pickups are pricey, but they're worth it. Be able to. I'm really looking forward to having the two screens with the map on the other screen, because I'm always hitting the select button or whatever the map button is in this game, in the game I'm currently playing, and to be honest, it's a little bit annoying. But at the same time, or even just like Bloodstained, have a mini map in the corner, that would be enough. What else? The current game I'm playing is Curse of Darkness, and I don't know, I haven't played it deep enough to give it a good rating. The environments are a little monotonous and repetitive. Bad layout design. You go all the way around to get to this one point that, you know, you could easily just break a wall and go across in other games. And I don't know why they didn't do more of that. But there's also a crafting system, which I just discovered, because the tutorials in this are not very explanatory. So, you know, I mean, if you're gonna make a sequel to Dracula's Curse, why not just have Trevor as the main protagonist? I don't understand it. But we'll keep playing. We'll see if my opinion of this game improves or not. And the last game to show off this time is Castlevania 2, Lords of Shadow 2. Again, people say it's not a very good entry. I haven't played it yet. They mostly criticize the stealth options and stealth missions, I guess. And if we're being honest, yeah, that's not my favorite type of game, so we'll see. I don't like Metal Gear Solid. I don't like the parts of Assassin's Creed where you have to be super stealthy and not get observed by anyone, even if you are being extremely careful and, you know, the game thinks, oh, you weren't careful enough. It's like, no thanks, I can't be bothered. But we'll see if that's any good. Yeah, so again, Curse of Darkness, that's what I'm currently playing right now. I also got to play Vampire Killer at Luke's. The second game in the Castlevania series ever released on the MSX. It's okay. You go room to room, you look for the key to go to the next area. They use many of the same assets that the proper Castlevania one does. Akumajo Dracula, and you know, it's an interesting distraction. I wouldn't. This is by far the best version of Castlevania 1. So if you're playing for the whole series, then you should play Vampire Killer. If not, don't bother with it. But if you do, either play one of the modern versions or a mod, or have the cartridge that gives you the 99 lives and continue from any stage, because that's what you need. You will die, and die a lot. But okay, so yeah, again, Aria of Sorrow started off this month playing as Soma Cruz, and spoiler alert, you'll discover that he is Dracula reincarnated in 1999. Julius Belmont, the strongest Belmont of them all, as they get progressively stronger with each generation, according to the lore. He locked Dracula's castle into an eclipse, and along with the Vampire Killer whip. So there's an eclipse in Japan in 2035, and Soma Cruz and his girlfriend go, well, not girlfriend, maybe girlfriend, I'm not sure, but they go up to this shrine that she's a handmaiden at, and Dracula's castle, they're sent to Dracula's castle. Somebody's trying to claim Dracula's power for his own. And so yeah, Soma Cruz as Dracula reincarnated has to stop this, and he actually fights Julius Belmont, and it's a really, really good game, a really good story. There's one area of the game that's really difficult to get to. You need to have certain souls, and then you can get past the waterfall, and then you can unlock it to access from the first area, which is probably where I would have wanted it to be accessed from in the beginning. But it's alright. It's, you know, Bloodstained, Koji Igarashi's latest creation, Ritual of the Night, the spiritual successor to all these games, and one I probably should have brought out for this video, does everything right. Symphony of the Night, as great as it is, it's a great game, don't get me wrong, but Ritual of the Night does it better. I'm not saying it's a better game or that I like it more, it just does it better. With the combat, the bosses, Area of Sorrow, the soul collecting, Ritual does it better. You can collect a shard to make the shards come more frequently. So that is something I would definitely like if I were going to collect 100% of souls in Area. And yeah, like I said, Curse of Darkness, I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to like it, but it's really a grind to get to the next level. You have to craft weapons. I'm not finding nearly as many items in the walls or in the rooms as I did in Aria, as I did in Symphony, as I did in Ritual of the Night. There are supposed to be secrets in secret areas. I either can't find them or it's too, what's the word I'm looking for? Too abstract, maybe. But yeah, I mean, if I can get past Trevor, I can probably clear the game, to be honest, because that third boss, the boss of the third level in the cathedral, is stupid hard. I mean, holy water should not home in on you. Come on. It goes in a straight line, right? Rondo of Blood, straight line. Original game, it just drops down in front of you, creates a fire, boom, enemies are frozen. But if you jump to the side and it circles back around and can hit you, that's just bad design. I'm sorry. And why does Trevor have a green whip? He does not have a green whip in this game. Green whip doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm going to get through. So the next time I do 31 days of Castlevania, I'll give you an update. See, you know, a final opinion. But as of right now, it is the least favorite Castlevania that I've played so far. And that's not to say it's a bad game, it's just I have not had a good experience with it. So yeah, personally it's going to be 3D-vania, and I love Lords of Shadow 1. Yeah, I thought this was an excellent game. So 3D-vania, then you got Iga-vania, the Super Metroid style, not that one, you know, Symphony of the Night with the map area. I mean, great games. And for me, personally, Classicvania is always going to be where it's at. Like, it's not stupid hard because of levels or whatever. It's hard because it's hard. And you can either keep going until you get good and die, or get good and succeed. Why would you get good and die? But, yeah, so, I mean, like we said, as great as they are, all you have to do is reach a certain level and you should be overpowered for anything and just run through the whole castle. I mean, you know, personally it's just myself. Castlevania, Classicvania is the best. And yep, there we go. I refuse to use the term Metroidvania because it kind of disrespects both franchises, in my opinion. Right? Super Metroid is Super Metroid and it's great. Symphony of the Night is Symphony of the Night and it's great. Boom. Igavania makes sense. Metroidvania, that's a horrible term. But that's just my opinion. You know, I guess the internet and the community has spoken, so they're going to do what they like. Anyway, so, like I said, 31 days of Castlevania. It's been great so far. Drinking a little bit of wine. Hopefully not breaking any glasses. And we'll catch you on the next one. Happy Halloween!